All right, let's take a look at this sequence here. So what do we have? It looks like we've got a single black dot in each square, and then we've got 4 arrows by the looks of it. They seem to be the same 4 arrows in each square. And it looks like we've got 2 arrows with a single prong, and we've got 1 arrow with 3 prongs at the front, and we've got 1 arrow with 2 prongs. That seems to be the case. So it doesn't look like there's any replacement of shapes. Got the same shapes in each square. They're just moving around with some pattern. So as always, let's just lock onto one little shape first, figure out its pattern, and see whether we can eliminate some of the answer options. Let's start with the black dot. So what's happening there? So we start in the top left corner, we go down to the bottom left corner, then up to the top right, and then all the way down to the bottom right. So to me, it kind of looks like it's going around anti-clockwise by an additional side, or an additional 90 degrees each time. So we go 90 degrees, and then 90 plus 90, 180 degrees, and then 90 degrees 3 times, ends up here. So we've gone 1, 2, 3 times around. So if we went an additional 4 times around in the next square in the sequence, imagine it here, we'd end up in the same position, wouldn't we? Okay, so let's look at our answer options and see which meet that criterion. So A, straight away is out, because the dot is in the top right corner. So we could, if we think our theory is correct, eliminate A at this point. If we look at B, C, and D, you'll see the dot is in the bottom right corner in all 3 scenarios. So it kind of looks like these are all possible candidates at this point. But at least we can eliminate A, and we've improved our odds from 1 in 4 to 1 in 3 if we were to now guess. Okay, so that was good. Let's focus in on one of these arrows now. Because there are 2 arrows with only a single prong, I'm going to leave these till last, because there might be some confusion in figuring out what's happening when there's 2 different arrows going around that look the same. So somewhat arbitrarily, I'm just going to fixate on this 3-pronged arrow and see what's happening there. So it starts off here, and it moves 1 position anti-clockwise, and then it moves another position anti-clockwise, and then another position anti-clockwise. So it kind of looks like that it's rotating anti-clockwise 90 degrees in each step. That appears to be the pattern. And is it flipping as well? No, it isn't. The arrows are pointing down, the arrows are pointing left, the arrows are pointing up, the arrows are pointing to the left. So in the next square in the sequence, we'd expect it to therefore be here on the right side, and we would expect it to be facing downwards, because we don't expect that the prongs are going to rotate. So what does that leave us with? So we've already eliminated A, remember. We're left with B, C, and D. Well, it's in the correct position for D, but the arrows are facing upwards. Here, it's facing downwards. And C, it's not here at all. So it looks like straight away we've actually found our answer, which is B. At this point, I'd be a little bit cautious and just check the pattern of the other arrows first, just to be completely sure, but it kind of looks like the answer is B. And if you're in a rush, you could definitely select B and try to move on. Let's just focus perhaps on the 2 pronged arrow for a second and figure out what's happening there. So starts at the top, goes to the bottom, goes to the top, goes to the bottom. So it kind of looks like it's going top, bottom, top, bottom. So then we want to make sure that in the next square in the sequence that it's back up at the top. And which way should it be facing? It should be facing to the right. So is that the case in B? Sure is. Definitely is. So, yep, I think at this point we would say B is the correct answer. You could go through and figure out the pattern for these individual arrows as well. So maybe we'll just do that quickly. So this arrow starts here, and then it goes here, it goes here, it goes here. This arrow starts here, goes here, goes here, goes here. Kind of looks like that each of these arrows is, again, rotating anti-clockwise, 90 degrees in each step. So we would expect, therefore, in the 5th square in the sequence, this arrow ends up here, and this arrow ends up here. So is that the case for B? Yes, it is. So that all kind of makes sense, and I'm pretty sure at this point that B is going to be the correct answer. That's what I'd select, and we'd move on. Okay, well, if you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. Otherwise, you can take this completely free inductive reasoning test at gradtest.com.au.